Alright. Good morning, everyone. I'm here to talk about stress management. Well, there are many different ways on how people deal with stress. Some people relieve their stress by drinking too much, eating too much, or smoking too much. These unhealthy ways may temporarily relieve your stress. These may temporarily reduce your stress, but these may cause more danger in the future. So why not try other ways that will surely help you and will not have a bad effect on you? Try listening to music. It will help you to be calm. Of course, listen to a music that will lighten up your mood, not to a music that will make you more sad. Another thing is, talk to your friends or talk to your family. Well, if they're the source of your problem, your stress, then talk to yourself. Organize your thoughts. Ask yourself, what are the things that are stressing you out? Of course, don't overthink. It will cause you so much more stress. And then, of course, you should always be optimistic in life. It may seem that there's nothing more you can do about your stress level, but you have more control than you think. Good day.
Good morning, classmates. Today, I'm gonna teach you on how to cook sinigang. So, step 1, you're gonna prepare all the ingredients. So, you need pork, radish. So, for the radish, you will cut them into small pieces. For the onion, you will cut them thinly. And you need kangkong, siling green, sinigang green. I don't know what the English of siling green. And tomatoes. So for the tomatoes, you will cut them into dice. You will dice them. And for the second step, you will need a pot, and you put the water into a broil, and you add the pork and simmer it for like 5 minutes, and then after it, you will remove the scum of the pork, and you will add the tomatoes, the onions, and the siling green. And after it, you will cook it for like 20 minutes, and you will put the sinigang meat. And if the pork is cooked already, you will put the vegetables. First, you will put the radish because it's hard to cook, like it's hard. And you will put the eggplant, and next is the kangkong. And after it, you will serve them with rice and enjoy your sinigang.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to discuss to you about the importance of healthy living. So, the importance of healthy living is that we can live a longer life and prevent ourselves from diseases. So, living a healthy life means equalizing yourself from being healthy by means of reducing yourself from stress, eating foods which are rich in vitamins like garlic, broccoli, salmon, beans, legumes, or garlic. And by means of having a healthy life, it's important because you can reduce yourself from having diseases and and by having a proper diet, it could help you from living a healthy diet. It could help you from maintaining your body's everyday functions and cleanse your internal organs, such as eating guava for vitamin C, or eating bananas for potassium, and garlic to reduce blood pressure and stress, and also to fight cancer. So it is very important. Thank you very much.
I'd like you to ask some questions. Are you planning to be a successful person someday?
Yes!
Do you have plans now for your future?
Yes!
Do you already have decided what are you going to take up in your career? So, some of you would answer yes, and some of you would answer you don't know yet. So, maybe you're planning to have your own house or your own car someday. Or you want to become a manager or a lawyer. But here's one thing. You know that God has a bigger and a better plan for you than you have for your life? In Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." God already planned our life. He wants us to become successful. So just learn to trust God and let God take control over your lives.
Good morning. So, developing a good study habit will surely help you succeed and achieve your educational goals. So, knowing how to study smart and knowing how to study hard will definitely give you an edge. So, I'll give 7 bad habits that you should change immediately. So, first is studying at home. Studying at home might be convenient for most of us, but studying at home, but there are too many distractions learning inside of your house, like internet, television, your siblings. So it is good that you will find a good place or a quiet place with lesser distractions. Second is listening to music. There has been a theory that says that classical music improves spatial abilities, but recent study shows that listening to music actually impair your cognitive ability because of the changing tones and sounds. The third is studying with friends. So studying with friends actually delays your actual study time. So what you can do is you study first by yourself, and then when you are already familiar with the topic, that's the time when you can interact with question and answers with your friends. Fourth is procrastination and cramming. So procrastination and cramming, because of the small breaks that you do with procrastination, you do not retain much information that will help you remember or understand the topic.
Good morning, blockmates. Today, I'm gonna tell you the ways on how to go to the University of Santo Tomas. The first way I'm gonna tell you is that you can go to the University of Santo Tomas via an LRT. You can take a ride from Santolan or any station, and you will arrive at you will stop at Legarda station. The second one is you can ride an FX going to Buendia or TAF, and you will arrive at España, and you will be arriving at University of Santo Tomas. The third way is the hardest way. You can ride a cab from your house going to the university. Thank you. No.
morning, ma'am. Good morning, Blackmates. Today I'm going to discuss about the 5 study habits of successful students. First one is try not to do too much studying at the same time. Taking short breaks can restore your mental energy. The second tip is set your study time because specific schedule time throughout the weeks during your study time. The third one is call another student when they have difficulty with an assignment. In this case, it's like 2 heads may be better than one. The fourth tip is set specific goals during your study time. Goals will help you stay focused and monitor your progress. You must be very clear out on what you want to accomplish. And the last one is try to study over the weekend. Yes, weekend should be fun time, but there is also a time to study, so you should be ready on the next school week, the Monday morning.
Okay, good morning fellow classmates and ma'am. I'm going to tell you about my watch. I'm going to present you the features of my watch. First off is the solar ability to absorb the solar power of the sun. Second is the sapphire crystal. And the third is the glow in the dark features. First off, I'll tell you the solar power abilities. It can absorb any forms of light. So the batteries of the phone of the watch can be recharged. Next is the sapphire crystal of the watch. No matter how many times you drop it, the glass case won't get scratched. I've dropped it at 2 meters height, and it didn't have any scratches. Third is the glow in the dark abilities. Most of the watches nowadays, such as the digital watch, have the lighting function. For this one, it's just automatic. Whenever it gets dark, it suddenly just glows. It just glows, so you can see the time without pressing any buttons. And lastly, I would like to talk to you about the price. It is quite expensive, but due to my hard work from working, I was able to get it. Thank you.
Okay, so good afternoon everyone, and especially Mom Sherelle. So, have you guys ever experienced having a really big pimple on your face?
Yay.
Or sleeping on the bed sore? Or even falling without any particular reason? So, may I remind you guys that this was all caused by the law of attraction. The law of attraction states that even the positive or negative event that happened to you was attracted by you. So, how to use this law of attraction? There are 3 ways. Is the ask, believe, and receive. So in asking part, we ask for the things that we want to happen to us. For example, we want to be a doctor someday. So be clear of what you wanted to do in your life in the future, or whatever you want to happen within you. Second is to believe. Believe that you can do this. Or, for example, visualize yourself being a doctor. For example, in a white room, sitting on the couch, or talking to your patient and giving him medical assistance or medicines that will surely help you. Visualize yourself doing that thing, even when you're dreaming or before you sleep. It's the second step for believing. Third is to receive it. You know, by the all things of being positive and doing this kind of things, we should at least always pray to God that we do something to work this way up, or we do things to achieve these dreams. But in the end, we still need God's guidance within us. So, at the end of the day, we still need to pray, and God will do the rest. So, again, ask, do the things that you wanted to do, or know what you really wanted in life. Second is to believe that you can do it. Nothing's impossible, no matter how far it is, or no matter how high it is. And third is receive it. Pray, God will do the rest, and if it's really for you, then it will come for you.
Yeah. Today I'm going to discuss the 5 important things to remember before you drive a manual car. So of course, you need a car. A car keys and a driver's license. So first thing after entering inside your car is to make sure that all doors are locked and your windows are all closed. It's for safety. Second is positioning your seat. When positioning your seat, just a tip. You place your wrist on the steering wheel and make sure that it has a distance as big as your palm or your hand. It is because the distance will help you to move your steering wheel freely. Third thing to remember is your mirrors. Change your side mirrors, your the left one and the right one. That is that can be seen by your eyes by just simply looking at it, and the rear view mirror. Fourth thing is seat belt. You need to put your seat belt on because for safety purposes also. And the last thing is before you start the engine of your car, make sure that the shift knob, or known as the cambio in Tagalog, make sure that it is in neutral base because if it is placed in primera, then you start your engine, the car will surely move. The car will surely move inappropriate. And that's all. I hope you learned something. Thank you.
LeBron James is good for the Cavaliers. Come on, we're talking about LeBron, Kyrie, and then Kevin Love. Of course, it's a good trio. I think that's even better than Wade, James, and Bosh. Of course, you see Kyrie as an elite point guard. He can help LeBron, and get points. You feel me? And LeBron, his athleticism is very high. He can go to the paint with ease. He can shoot. He can drive. He can dribble. Then Kevin Love, the X Factor. They just got him this week, and you can already see the future of the Cavaliers. Kevin Love can bring a lot to the team, in terms of rebounding, scoring, and the inside presence, of course. He's a good defender, a good rebounder. He's a good player. And there's the bench of the Cleveland Cavaliers. You have Anthony Bennett, a #1 pick. Then Andrew Wiggins. But Andrew Wiggins is not sure. His future in the Cavaliers is not sure yet because rumors is that he will be traded because there's too much stars in the team and he might get outshined by the others. That's all.
Good morning. So for today, I'll talk about the advantages and disadvantages of advancement of technology to us college students. So before I start, I would like to ask if you all have your computers at home. Yes. How about laptops? Yes. And I assume all of us have mobile phones with you right now. Yes. Okay, so these devices are just some of the technology that our generation has today. So we have benefits that we get from this. So one example is schoolworks. So this technology helps us with our schoolworks. So we don't need to have or to take a lot of time in the library looking for a certain book that we need. So with the use of computers, you just type in the keywords and the Google will be the one to search for your answer. And in an instant, you'll have your answers with you right here. So aside from these Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, these social media help us communicate with our friends that are far from us. So do you have your Facebook account, right? Yes. Twitter, and I assume all of us have these accounts that we use to communicate with our relatives abroad or with our friends from high school or grade school. So aside from these good sides, aside from these benefits, we also have the bad sides, of course. So as a college student, we all know that when we go home, we log on in our accounts and we tend to focus on those websites, on those games that we do before we do our assignments. So this results to cramming the next morning. And then we will complain that we don't have much time. So this is an example of poor time management because of these technologies. And aside from that, this advancement, that's all.
Morning class, today I'm going to tell you the quick guide on how to ride an MRT. First, you fall in line with the cashier. Second, prepare your payment, either exact payment or single journey or the stored value you have. Second, you pay the price, depending on the station that you are going to, either from North Avenue to Taft Avenue. Third, get your card, go to the like that. Where you put inside your car, then you go. Then as you pass through that station, wait for the train to arrive. Of course, that will take for like 1 to 2 minutes. Then, once the train arrives, wait for the people inside to go out first because MRT is a crowded place. Once the people are out, it's your turn to push through the crowd. Either you play hard, you push hard, or you don't give space to other people. Once you're inside the train, you look for seats or places to hold on to. Once the train leaves the station, you hold to a handrail for safety, of course. And once you arrive at your station, you don't give space to people because that's the way I ride the MRT. I don't give consideration to other people. And once you're out of the train, you put back your card, pass through that station again, then you walk away. That's all.
I am here to talk to you about how to get better at the most played online game here in the Philippines, League of Legends. First of all, I want to talk to you about what it takes for you to improve your game. One must notice his or her mistakes and do your best and try their best to improve them, because in League of Legends, the team that makes the most mistakes are most likely to be the losing team, and the one that makes the least mistakes would eventually most likely be the winner by about 70% of the time. So the best way to improve your game is by knowing your mistakes and what you should have done, because there will always be a time that when you make a mistake, there is always a better way that you could have done in order to become more efficient, and would lead you to that would lead your team to victory. I have this concept, which is the concept of forgetting. I read an article on the internet that states that this psychological theory is that you can only remember 10% of what you've learned after 3 to 6 days, depending on the material you're working on. Although this theory applies in schools and studies, I believe it can also be applied in League of Legends, which is why in order to improve the 10% into 50%, you must take down notes. Taking down notes on what you need to work on would greatly improve, even if it's only 40% of what you can remember the next 3, 4 games, the next games you play. So I take the liberty of myself to play. Okay, to do it. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about the person who I genuinely admire. This person is not just a good leader, but also a good follower. Recently, this person has been elected as a public relations officer of the class. Yes, you're guessing it right. I'm going to talk about the reasons why I admire Neil Maroga. It's about his hard work. Look at him. Neil Baroga wakes up early in the morning to go to school, to get the laptop, to set it up so that we can use it for the entire day. Second of all, I admire the fact that he's like our hero. And then, look at him. He's the one who's keeping on reminding us on Facebook what to do, what we have to accomplish, what we have to answer for our assignments. Without him, we'll forget everything. That's the very reason why Neil Baroga is our hero. And third and most important of all reasons is his ability to take selfies. His ability to take selfies is beyond normal human progression. Anywhere, and on anyone's cell phone. So once again, Neil Baroga, the person who I admire most.
Download. How to download a movie by using torrent. First, you have to find a specific site in what you are going to download, and then search it. Then and then next you have to like there's a logo in there that looks like a box and it has torrent on it. Press it and then it will go to your torrent application in your computer. And then wait for it to finish, and then you have to have a VLC player enabled to watch your movie. That's
Morning. As we all know, most of the Filipinos love basketball, isn't it?
Yes!
But some of them doesn't know how to shoot the basketball properly. Coach. And now, I'll show you the steps on how to shoot basketball properly so that you can score like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, or either Kobe Bryant. First, place the basket and place your width shoulder apart. Second, place the ball on your shot pocket. Third, grip the ball properly. Fourth, Coach Roach. Fourth, place the ball, push the ball upward with your shooting hand, which is your dominant hand. Fifth, straighten your knees and then jump. And then last, release the ball. And now you know the steps on how to shoot the basketball properly. You must try to improve your game.
Today I'm going to discuss the pros and cons about replacing books with tablets. Firstly, the pro side of the tablets, it's they're handy. We can receive emails, we can browse the web at any time, anywhere. You all do, right?
Yes!
You all do. And the advantage of this is we increase our interactivity with our social. And plus, tablets has now the application of ebook. We can download several books. We can no longer be afar from what our professor is talking about. But the disadvantage of this, it's tablet, it's internet. It increases the temptation from the students to ignore the professor, stop learning, and just keep on surfing or playing games. The disadvantage of this is technologies nowadays are fast-paced. They are easily upgrading. However, textbooks they're just the same. They can be bought. They can be bought at any store, and it is always clearer to the reader's point of view.
This is me. I am Edgar, and I'm gonna discuss to you two of the most powerful words. I am. Every day, we tell ourselves so many things about ourselves, that I am lazy, I am not confident. I am nervous. I am a loser. The universe tends to unfold itself like Margot said, law of attraction. If you say, I am a loser, you are a loser. Like the Vivish, you are yeah, if you say you are a loser, you are a loser. If you say you are a winner, you are a winner. And if you say I am confident, I am confident. Thank you.
Love you, Bex.
Hi classmates and good morning mom. I'm going to discuss about happiness. What is the definition of happiness? What is the secret to happiness but others seems to still have a hard time in finding happiness? Here are some basic but effective ideas to cultivate our inner happiness. First, simplicity. Sometimes our society right now tells us that happiness can be found in fame, fortune, and a lot of wealth. But actually, happiness is found in the present moment. We may not have the perfect life, but if we learn to value simplicity, happiness will be easy to cultivate. Second, having to control your thoughts. How do we control our thoughts? Is first focusing on the positive ideas. To cultivate happiness, of course, we should cultivate positivity. And if we are positive in life, it will direct us whether we be happy or we be sad. Third, we should be like children. Have you ever wondered why children seems to find the most ordinary moment to be happy? It's because they're more in the heart. Sometimes we just need to take a distance from our critical mind and take a simpler act on being a childlike view in life. And lastly, gratitude. Sometimes we don't appreciate the things in our surroundings, but if we try to appreciate or show a little gratitude in our life, in small things in our life, then we will be able to see how blessed we are in life, and that will produce happiness, and that will cultivate our inner happiness. Thank you. May these ideas may help you to find your satisfaction and happiness. Thank you.
The world, your personality, confidence, and even your physical appearance. So, taking selfie is not just pointing the camera on your face. There's an art of it, and I will show you. The first thing you do is get your phone, and use your phone's camera. Front or back? Either front or back.
Can I see?
It's like this. Then create a good angle. Instead, just like this. Instead of taking you can experiment different angle. Thank you. Second one is show up something new. It's like if you have a new gadgets or a new phones, you can focus it, and even if you are eating food, you can take a picture and you can post it on Instagram. So taking pictures is very essential to life. The third step is you can focus on one feature. Example, you love your eyes, or you have tantalizing eyes, or and if you feel your smile is your best comfort, and you can take selfies. So, thank you.
Hello, good morning. Before I start, I would like to ask all of you if there's anyone who is interested to join any organization here in our university. Let's see the hands of those who are interested. Oh yeah. Earlier this week, the R101 or the Recruitment 101 started, and this event is known as the annual recruitment week of all the existing student organizations in our university. And for this year's theme, since it's August, the Buwan ng Ating Wika, the administration of the university decided a Filipino Fiesta-like theme that would apply to all the activities for this week. In our university, there are over 180 student organizations are recognized, and all of these are considered non-profit. These organizations are headed by a consilium, which is namely the Student Organization Coordinating Council, or the SOCC. This council is the mother of all the existing organizations in our university, and they are the ones who is in charge of the maintenance of the stability of each organization and to establish it more compared to the other universities. And every organization in our university caters every specific interest of the Tomasian studentry, and this would apply to us because we are college students who soon will be considered as the agent of progression that manifests faith, compassion, commitment, and competence. And before I end my speech, I would like to invite all of you to walk around Plaza Mayor to see some of the organizations that would satisfy your interest, not only in the four sides of the classroom, because I believe that learning doesn't end in this room. Thank you.
What happens when someone else is trying to talk to you? What happens when someone else is talking to us? What happens when someone else is speaking in front? When someone else is speaking in front, usually we're not listening. We're not listening, right? Instead, we're doing something else. We're doing something not related to what we should do. We're thinking about somebody else. We're thinking about something else. Or we're just thinking about our own thoughts. We're totally distracted. A lot of times we're reacting to what the other person is saying. We are reacting immediately, and we are reacting immediately, and not giving them chance to express themselves or to be understood. So as the other person is telling something, when somebody else is saying something about something, we immediately react and think, what are we going to say after his speech? Or and you see, we're contracted. Our heart is contracted. Our ego is in control, and we are self-centered. So to learn how to love, we must get out of ourselves and actually listen to the other person. Sorry. To do that, we have to truly listen to the other person. So in order to listen to the one you're speaking to, you need to black out all distractions. You need to let go of other things. You need to truly listen to the person you're talking to. And in that way, you should look at them, make eye contact, and take that moment to truly understand the person.
Good morning, everyone. I want to start with a phrase, or it's something that's popularly said over the internet, and it's not said in the same way. It's nothing rhymes with orange. So what I want to talk about for the next few minutes is rhymes. And if you think about it, nothing rhymes with orange. I think something does. Okay, first problem here is that people are pretty ignorant of some words. And the second problem here is that people want perfect rhymes. First, I'm going to talk about perfect rhymes. Sorry. It's really controversial because people would argue back and forth. But there are some things that you have to count, for example, accent. And then next you have pronunciation. But the thing is, as I said, people want the perfect rhyme. So usually, people just ignore some words. Again, perfect rhyme and ignorance. What we want is a perfect rhyme. An example of perfect rhyme is tickle and pickle. These two words are in perfect rhyme because the I, the vowel, the ending vowel, I, and ickle, as in the following letters that follow after I, they are identical. And they are said in the exact same way, making them a perfect rhyme. But the word identical, although they are in somewhat alike in the ending sound, ickle, the stress is put in a different part in the word identical to pickle. In identical, the stress is identical. In pickle, it's pickle. It's like the I. So, if you're wondering like why I said that orange does have a rhyme, well it does. The second problem that I was mentioning was ignorance of people. People aren't aware of some words, and if a name describing a place is a noun, and a noun is considered a word, there's a place in Wales. It's a really hilly place. It's called Lorange. This is the perfect rhyme of orange. And same with other popular words that people mention, like silver. A perfect rhyme would be chilver, which is a female lamb. And then for purple, there is a perfect rhyme too, which is purple. If you don't know, if you've been horseback riding and you're sitting on the saddle, there's an understrap. This is what you call the purple. Now, while I did say that these words have a rhyme, and it's okay, I just want to add another statement. While these words do have rhymes, the thing is that there are some words that don't have a rhyme. For example, wolf, wolves, elbow, and sandwich.
What I'm about to share to you guys is, I really don't know where do I get the strength and the motivation to tell this to you, but I'll tell you anyway. So I'm gonna tell you about my embarrassing moments while riding the LRT2 train. So, as I enter the train shuttle, I usually go to the spot in the middle upon entering the train shuttle. And as I stand there, like this, and suddenly my mind flies all over where, thinking about this and that, leaving me in an unconscious state. Suddenly, this train operator is really sucks, because as he stopped, all the passengers and including me were like shoved and leaned on each other. We were like dancing the crank back by Soulja Boy, like you. And at least it's not embarrassing because all other passengers were as in my state, so I call it quits. So the other time I went home very tired. Probably it's a Monday because our Monday schedule is until 6 p.m. right? So as I enter the train shuttle, I go to the railings, the side railings, and I lean there and just yeah. Okay. I lean against the wall, and I unconsciously slept like this. Unconscious. I didn't know I was already sleeping, but then my body gets weak, my legs get weaker, and I was like, check if there's a saliva in my there, and all other people in front of me were so like, it's really embarrassing.
I will narrate to you an excerpt from the famous novel of William Shakespeare.
Advance?
They were both young. Remember the story? They closed their eyes and flashback starts. They're standing there. On the balcony in summer. See the lights, see the party, see the people. See you make your way through the crowd and say hello. I know. Then you were Romeo. You were throwing pebbles, and my daddy said, stay away from Romeo. I was crying on the staircase, begging you please Romeo, take me. Somewhere we can be alone. I'll be waiting for you, but you never come. Is this in my head? I don't know what to think. You knelt to the ground and pulled out a ring and said, marry me, Juliet. You'll never have to be alone. I love you. And that's all I really know. Thank you. They got married.
Small, short, tall, weak, appear, disappear. These are all opposites. They're contradictions, antonyms, you see. You can answer me very easily if I ask you these questions. What's the opposite of height? See? You can answer me easily. But if I ask the question, what's the opposite of love? What? See? All of you answer me as hate. But I don't think it's hate. Because love, you know the existence, right? But in hate, you also know that person's existing. For me, the opposite of love is actually ignorance and concern. It's like you don't even care that that person actually exists. For example, if you call out to me and I just glare at you, you think, oh whatever, it doesn't really matter. But when you call out to me and I just, don't you think that actually hurts more of your feelings? I think that the opposite of love is not really hate. It's actually unconcerned ignorance of that person's existence. That's all.
For women are meant to submit to men. We're weaker than men. We are meant to just stay in home, do and master all the household chores and just stay at home. But since the world is dynamic and change is very inevitable, the women today are different from the women yesterday. The females today are strong, bold, confident, and competitive and taking on the challenges given by the world. Do you believe it is happening?
Do you believe it is happening? Yes, you nod your head. So it is. Just look at Senator Miriam Defensor, Oprah Winfrey, like Beyonce, and even the leaders of this university. The president of the CSC, the president of the SOCC, the president of College of Commerce and Business Administration Student Council, and of course the president of our organization, University of Santo Tomas Economic Society. See, we are nearing the society where men equates women. We're so near, we're steps away, but we are yet so far. Why? Because society still brands the women weak. Let me give you a scenario when two men are talking and the other man goes like this. Hey pare, you're so weak a while ago when we were playing boxing. You're like a girl. See how negative girl is used in this situation. It's very saddening that amidst of the contributions women has given to our society, we still brand women as weak. So, what women should do? We should prove them wrong. We should stand for what is right. We should stand what is right with our abilities and capabilities, because I believe that we aren't made just to stay at home and be dolls. We are made to take over the world with the men and create a better change. Thank you.
As I trudge along life and as I look back the pages of my life, I could hardly believe that I am here, experiencing God's wonderful mystery of creation. I could have been created as a piece of stone, a garbage can, or just simply an animal roaming the streets. But no, God created me as His masterpiece, as a somebody who can take care of His creatures and make the people around me feel my existence. And as such, I must do something that is sharing and touching lives with the values I have lived. Of the many values, I choose the value of humility. Being humble may be quite difficult or very challenging, but if one can make others happy through humility, it can give relief or lighten others' burdens. There are so many instances open for us every day. We have the grace, then we can share it. Help those who could hardly understand their lessons. We are a small community. There is no reason why we should lose our capabilities. If we have the talents, let us not be proud of it. Instead, share it with others. We are young. There are so many things we need to know. Whatever we have achieved presently is just towards reaching our goal. Along the way, there may be competition, but let every event be an experience that, win or lose, we always gain something. We are all travelers in this world. We must not build gaps and create hatred in every heart. Instead, let us be humble as we can. And as we thank the God Almighty for the wisdom and talents showered on us, that at the end of the day, people will say, there is one, a somebody with a big heart, a somebody who lifted a hand, and a somebody with so many beautiful memories, and that somebody is you.
You for $1 million. How? Okay, I'll ask you, would you buy this pen for $1 million? Why? Right, okay? What if I guaranteed that if you buy this pen, I will give you $2 million within 1 year? Would you buy it?
How?
What if I say, I will guarantee it? Because if I did sell you this pen, and I didn't give you $2 million within 1 year, I would go to prison.
Then I'll probably say yes.
So, what did I sell you?
A pen.
A pen? Okay. I sold you my words. I'm selling the invisible. Okay? So, I will sell you this pen and guaranteed that you will have $2 million within 1 year, but I sold it to you with $1 million today. So, this is an example of true perspective of business buyers. So, this pen could make you rich if you buy it from me. So, it's idiotic to buy a pen for $1 million with just the future of writing. Okay? Then why would you buy Parker? right? You buy Parker because of its name, but not only that. You buy Parker because when you go to your office and use Parker, you have authority. You have the personality of a boss. So that is what you're going to buy. That's all.
Teach you how to make an omelette. Here are the things you need in order to make a good omelette. First, and the most important thing, is the egg. Milk and salt are also important because it will give good taste to your omelette. Also frying pan and cooking oil, of course. Then let's proceed to the procedures. Crack the egg. Crack the egg in a bowl. You beat it like that. You pour the milk in your egg, your bowl of egg, and then sprinkle salt, and then that's it. Put it in a preheated frying pan, and then that's it. You have an egg.
How to deal with breakups.
So what I'm gonna discuss about is how to move on after breakup. Moving on is not as easy as you think it is. Of course, it is hard to live without the person you always go out with. The person will never leave you, and the person you thought you'd be with forever. So, moving on starts with accepting what happened. You'll need the help of your friends for you to forget the pain that you felt after the breakup.
Ouch!
So, first thing you must do is don't keep yourself updated on how is your ex doing. Like, don't stalk his Facebook profile or Instagram account until you know for yourself that you're ready to see him or to see him with someone else without your heart breaking. So, and most importantly, trust God, hang on to God's hand, and have faith that, and believe that it happened for a reason, because things didn't work out between the two of you, and you two are not meant to be together. And remember that someone will come into your life and will make you realize that why it didn't work out with anybody else, and someone that God wants you to be with, because God knows that the person is the best for you. And always remember that God's will is always greater than our will.
And you wash away my rights to live. Provide me with silver, and the world will swim in richness. Young as I know and appreciated the important things in life. Like for instance, the water. I believe that water is life. It is a precious commodity, fundamental to our survival. In the same way, seed needs water as they thirst against the sun's biting heat. Sprinkle them with beautiful drops, and soon they shall blossom as beautiful flowers, radiant and loved. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the seed and UST is the water.
Very good. There is always one person who takes the initiative to lead and direct others towards a common goal, and he is known as the leader. The role of the leader is very important. He has a lot of responsibilities to do. The members of the group expect him to direct and guide them towards a common goal. In choosing a leader, there are certain qualities that should be considered. First is integrity. He should have integrity. This means that in many decisions that he takes, he chooses what is he chooses what is right, not just because he wants it or it is the easier path to take. Second is that he should be a people person. It means that he understands that the unique abilities of each and every individual, and he uses these abilities to be able to make the group work. Lastly, he should be positive. Instead of criticizing people, he should encourage them to be able to accomplish the given task.
This surrounding is our environment. We eat, drink, clothe ourselves, reproduce, and we die. The next generation comes and the cycle goes on. The human race flourishes and grows. The physical environment on Earth provides favorable conditions for the existence and growth of different life forms, including man. These living beings constitute the biological environment. The physical and biological environment are in a close interaction with each other. The environment is constantly changing, and this affects life on Earth. Some of these effects can be lasting and irreversible, so we must realize that we should be concerned about our environment.
How to bake your brownies. First, you have to prepare the following ingredients. 1 cup of butter, 1.5 cup of unsweetened chocolate, 2 cups of sugar, 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon vanilla, and 4 medium-sized eggs. First, you have to combine butter and unsweetened chocolate and melt it over boiling water. Add 2 cups of sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and the 4 eggs. And in a separate bowl, combine flour and baking powder. Pour the flour mixture over the chocolate mixture and mix it together. And pour the brownie mix in a greased pan and bake it in a preheated oven for in 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes.
And drugs as the destroyer of our future. Maybe some of us have watched or heard about the young generation plunging themselves into drugs. According to the data that is collected from some users, for their first time, they just want to try it or taste it, but in the end, they end up being addicted to it. The drugs are not plunging us to be an addicted ones, but it is leading us to be a patient with various diseases. And these diseases are HIV and AIDS. These diseases is a kind of virus that attacks our human immune system. The person who have these diseases may lead to death, and because there is no immune system that can protect his or her body. For us, using these drugs has no benefit, but it destroys our future.
I'm going to talk about how to survive college. The first thing you hear at college is, what's their name? Where do they graduated, whether in a public or private institution? And their achievements back in high school, whether they are a top student or just a regular student. Well, congratulations, because none of that matters anymore. College is a new phase of life. College is a new stage of life. We all start fresh. We all go back to zero. Now, I prepared some tips for you to survive college. Number 1, make your own decisions. If you want them all, then all of them. It's not bad to hear suggestions for your father, mother, friends, and relatives. But remember, because in the end, all you have is yourself. Number 2, stand up and simply go to class. There are many distractions that can ruin the true purpose why you are here in college, like TV, events, parties, and stuff. But don't forget that you are here in college to study and to get ready for the reality. Last but not the least is buddy up, have friends, and socialize with other people. Why not join an organization that suits your ability, and find friends with the same interest? Isn't that fun? Then you can appreciate what you like, and you can all talk with the same interest. Remember, college is fun, but it's also short. That's what college is all about. Taking the first step of adulthood and the last step of childhood. Have fun, enjoy your college life, and make the best out of life. Thank you.
7 years now, I'd like to share some of my unforgettable experience here in UST. During my first year in high school, there was this place called Engineering Complex, now the Q Pavilion. There we had our intramurals, and there I also got my hips broken. Yeah, my hips got broken because I fell off the highest bleacher, like as tall as Greg. I fell off that bleacher with my hips first landed on the floor. Then, 4th year high school, I remember before graduating, we had this trip to take a bath in the fountain. Yeah, and we laid down the Q Square. And as far as I know, the water they're using in the fountain is made of recycled water. So just imagine how stinky we were that time. And first year in pharmacy, way back 2012, some people said that being a Tomasian, you're not yet a Tomasian if you haven't experienced flood and being stranded in the university, right? I remember maybe the worst, or should I say the best memory that I had being stranded is when I reached home 4 a.m. in the morning because the water is too high like this and we can't even step out of the EDUC building. Where I'm from pharmacy, I just chose EDUC building as my evacuation site because there's so many food there. And lastly, maybe one of the most unforgettable is my first year college in pharma also, where outside our room there's a commotion and noise around. Only then we knew that there's a guy who jumped off the building and his body landed on the front or in the front of our room, and that's why they're not allowing us to get out because the body is there and the blood. Only we see the line of the police, the yellow line. So I have 2 to 3 more years and I'm hoping to spend more awesome memories with you awesome guys. So yeah.
Talk about an issue, a controversial issue, very popular among the social media. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's about this Lasallian girl who took a picture with the star player of Ateneo, Keeper Ravenna. This girl she put her middle finger up. So I was bothered by this inappropriate picture. As we all know that there are rivalries among UAAP schools, especially between Ateneo and LaSalle. They see each other as enemies way back before our parents were still studying. today. When you are studying in a particular university or a school, you are clearly representing the school's reputation. So you should be responsible enough in what you do, in what you say, in how you act, because you are carrying the school's reputation. So I will ask you, is it appropriate? Do you think it is appropriate thing to the girl? Why?
Because it shows disrespect against guys.
Precisely. It is not very appropriate thing to do, and I can't blame those who got angry at this girl. This girl is being bashed now in the internet for what she did. So in conclusion, all I can say is that these are all just games and competitions. We shouldn't take it personally. We should have that sportsmanship among each other, and we should not hurt each other. That's all. Thank you.
This is also something that we're doing right now. But this is for some people who doesn't have any purpose of it. Why do we study? Why do you study? Why do we have to pay this large amount of tuition fee to study in this university? If you're not able to come up with your answer right away, it means that you're studying for nothing. Let's think about it. If we know the goal of our efforts, probably we won't waste our time doing something else. Don't you agree?
Yes. Yes.
Now I see some eyes answering to me that they study to work in a nice company and to have a good income. But is that all? There must be something more than that. To know the reason, you must try the things that I'll suggest you right now. First, make plans for your life. It can be plans for weeks, months, or even years after. If you make plans for the short span of your lifetime, probably you will come up with the results of your works, which is for now, study. Second, make a time or a hobby that can make you relax. Those things can reminds you what you're doing right now, encouraging you to move on if you encounter any difficulties. So these are the things that you can try to find the reason of your studies. Know the reason and be more enthusiastic with your studies. Thank you.
Good morning. I'll talk about two topics for my first topic is weed versus alcohol. Based on my observation. For me, it is more more appropriate than alcohol, because when you get drunk because of alcohol, you can beat somebody, you get hungover. But if you get high, based on my observation, you get high, you get relaxed, you'll feel peaceful, you'll be happy, and then you'll appreciate the music. That's it. So then my second topic is fraternities and fraternities. Because my dad is a frat boy, then he always tell me that if I will join a fraternity, I should join a established fraternity so that I'll become a better. I will grow as a better person, and then he always tell me that not to join fraternities like Tau Gamma because they just want to have a backup if they have a fight with other people. Yeah, that's it.
Press.
Good morning, lads. Well, I'm Christopher Castillo, and welcome to Adventures! So first of all, what are adventures? Adventures are, for me, adventure is a never-ending experience. For me, adventure is like entertainment, like you're watching a YouTube video, but the only difference is that you are the video. You are being watched. Wait, I'm wrong. Rephrase. Good morning, lads. I'm Christopher Castillo, and welcome to Adventures! So, what are adventures? Adventures, for me, is a never-ending experience. It makes you jump, and it makes you go swell, and you just want to say every morning, "Good morning, sunshine, here's to another adventure!" Now, where am I? Anyway, for me, adventure is going up the class, going to the classroom, going up the stairs, and everything for me is adventure. Sometimes, when you go, sometimes you will meet two roads that will divide each other, that will go pathways. But, remember this, whatever you choose, it will define you. Just like Ma'am Cabral said. Last thing, before I end, is that before you go to that door, I want you to remember everything I have said. Well, obviously you're gonna forget it because I'm just a person who's not extravagant or blah blah blah. Anyway, before you go to that door, I want you to take time to remember all the adventures that you have, all the experiences have you gained from the love life to the general acts, or whatever. And if you go out to this door, I want you to have a wonderful adventure. Thank you.
Maybe some of you are confused, why am I here again? So,
No.
I am here because I have no topic last time. So, I'm gonna discuss to you the importance of topic.
Yes.
What is topic? Topic is something or a particular subject you talk or discuss about. Imagine na lang if we don't have topic, diba? We can be in awkward silences. Conversations won't be made due to out of topic. So, yeah. So, even if, whether your topic is good or bad, at least you have a topic, diba? Whether it's irrelevant or relevant, at least you have topic. Topic is important in our nation, economics, and education. Because if you don't have topic, how can the president address the problems of the society in education? If we don't have topic, what would the teacher discuss, diba? And if we don't have topic, like this, we're all silent like that. It's awkward if you don't have topic. So yun, topic is important, and if you don't have topic, you won't, mom won't grade you.